trying to stop the losing skid that they've been on as they visit Kirk Cousins, the Washington Redskins. Bob Costas and Dan Patrick host Football Night in America. Begins at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on NBC. Marty.
Jimmy Johnson headed back out right now. 4th run for that 48 car, and I think the last run, probably one of the lap times Chad Knaus was looking for. But Earl Barber and his spotter's been on the radio a lot, kind of watching lines that other drivers are using. And so, Steve, that's something that you're going to have to think about as a crew chief as these tires wear out. Where do you want to run? Because you've got to do it coming up in a couple hours in qualifying. So something to keep in mind, because we'll have to make at least 3 runs this evening in qualifying to get the pole.
Crew chief, that sounds like a driver problem to me.
Blame it on the crew chief. Blame it on the crew chief. I like it.
No, but you're right. I mean, so on new tires, I think it's pretty safe to say you can run the middle to the bottom of the racetrack. You see how high Jimmy Johnson's running right now. It's hard for me as a crew chief to understand. I can look at the data and say, hey, you need to move up the racetrack on older tires because they show more speed. But from inside the car, Jeff, is it just without the grip of the tire, you have to have the grip of the racetrack, so move up closer to the wall?
Yeah, I think you just have to turn the wheel less. You go to where the track has more grip, which is higher on the racetrack. When the tires are making the grip, you try to go the shortest way around the racetrack. The more grip they lose, the more you need the track to help you, and moving up the racetrack could be the way to do that.
Similar to 3 and 4 when I came back. Tires weren't as cold. Maybe that has something to do with it too. I mean, those 3 couldn't turn around.
So that also adds to the complication. When you're at home and you're listening to all this and you're watching these guys make qualifying runs, yes, the car was tighter this run or the car was looser this run, but the tires were hotter. The track temp's gone up. So what did you learn? That's I think what's difficult about these situations is really understanding what you learned. You made a change. You got this response from the race car. This is what the car did. But there's all these other variables, high tires, track's hotter, all these other things are going on, and really understanding what you did, how it affected the car, that's very difficult. And really, it boils down to what Jimmy Johnson said. I believe it's better. I believe it's worse. You can look at some tire data, those kind of things. But really, at the end of the day, in these situations, the driver being in tune with his car and being able to make those decisions, it was better or worse. Ignore how fast it went. How did it feel? That's where the best drivers stand up.
And guys, Jimmy talked about the quick turnaround. They were only in the garage area for a couple minutes. Remember earlier where they said they were in the garage area for 28 minutes. But Chad Knaus wanted to get one more run on that older set of tires before they put the sticker tires on here in a moment. And he said the car was much more calm also and much more drivable. He said good change from day 4. And there you see him having a conversation on the digital radio, which unfortunately we cannot hear, but that's the private conversation he's having with Chad Knaus right now on what they need to do to make the car better when they do put stickers on.
Hey, Steve, what I like right here, you see Chad Knaus out of the left side of the front window, but as they're talking, they're looking eye to eye. There's eye-to-eye contact. They're talking on the radio, but that relationship between those two guys, that's why the 6 championships. They trust each other. They disagree with each other, but that eye-to-eye contact, listen, this is what I feel. This is what I want to do. That is vital to making the right decisions.
Yeah, because you can put the balance on a scale of 1 to 10 and do all that fancy stuff, but in the end, it's about emotion. It's about personality. These aren't driven by computers. These race cars are driven by drivers that have talent. They're set up by crew chiefs that have talent, and you have to understand what each person brings to the fold. And Chad and Jimmy have proven it time and time again.
It all comes down to this. The final weekend of the year, 4 drivers, all with a shot at the championship.